With so many radio broadcasting stations blazing the airwaves, have you ever wondered how the invention of radio came about? It's surprising to know that radio was initially imagined and actually began as a wireless telegraph. The idea of broadcasting was a separate invention. Therefore, radio definitely owes its development to two other inventions, which are the telegraph and the telephone. Radio started with the discovery of radio waves, that is, electromagnetic waves that have the capacity to transmit music, speech, and other data invisibly through the air. Other devices that work with electromagnetic waves include television broadcast, remote-controlled toys, microwaves, cordless phones, and many more. The invention of radio dates as far back as the 19th century. James Clerk Maxwell, a Scottish scientist, predicted the existence of radio waves in the 1860s, and by 1866, an American dentist called Marlon Loomis was able to make a meter connected to one kite cause another one to move, marking the first known instance of wireless aerial communication. This act fortunately launched wireless telegraph. In 1886, Heinrich Rudolf Hertz, a German physicist, showed rapid variations of electric currents could be projected into the space in the form of radio waves, similar to those of light and heat. Guglielmo Marconi, an Italian inventor, demonstrated the possibility of radio communication. His center received its first radio signal in Italy in 1895. By 1899, Marconi flashed the first wireless signal across the English Channel and 2 years later received the letter S, telegraphed from England to Newfoundland. This was the first successful transatlantic radio telegraph message in 1902. From that moment till now, several modifications and discoveries have been done to make radio become what we have today in the 21st century. You know, sometimes when you're innovating some things, you never can know that your innovation will travel so far, so wide. I mean, when it was when the other guy wanted, did I call him guy? Well, he's dead. When he was trying to do something, it was one kite connected to another kite,
exactly.
And you know,
trying
one
to transmit frequency
and things like that. And right now, how many radio stations do we have even in Nigeria? No, even in Lagos.
In Lagos, we have about 17, 18, very close to 20. Yeah.
And somebody thought about that.
Oh yeah.
So what are you thinking about?
Thinking about New Day.
No, not you. I'm asking them. So like you have it there, a very brief history of radio. That's the milestone.
Oh yeah, radio is fantastic. You know, I work on radio as well, and I can tell I enjoy it. Radio is beautiful. It's different.
They don't get to see your ugly face.
Tunbosun, you have started. Like, why did you like folding my hand?
Okay, sorry.
No, you're falling into
your handsome face. Your handsome face.
I'm not talking again. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay. Oh, okay. Talk.
I'm not talking. It's by force.
All right. Okay. It's time.
Now.
Okay, talk.
All right. So we have something next lined up. The business intelligence. Yeah. So who do we have today?
So it's time to move on to the business intelligence segment. And with us today, she's looking very African.
Yeah, nice.
It's lovely to have you with us today, Ma.
It's lovely to be here today.
I don't want to make it because I know people. I mean, people who are usually passionate about Africa, Nigeria, have this particular way of pronouncing their names. So let me give you that honor of introducing yourself.
Good.
Your name, please.
My name is Shola Alamutu.
I said it. Shola. She didn't say Alamutu. She said Shola Alamutu. Exactly.
We'll get the emphasis.
Yes.
And what do you do, ma?
I am a greenpreneur. So I'm interested in green in terms of the physical environment, green in terms of eating healthy, living healthy. So anything to do with green. As you can see, I'm green all over.
So it's go green.
Yes, it's go green.
So it's business intelligence, and the topic today is
Entrepreneur.
Exactly, understanding an entrepreneur. Who would you define as an entrepreneur?
You used the word. Yes. I believe that entrepreneurs are innovators. Okay, people who come up with ideas. It could be something that somebody has come up with before, but you do it in a different way. Okay, if I may talk about your earlier guest. Okay, yes, a dear friend of mine, Bolanle Austin Peter, she came up with terra culture. Now it's not as if we didn't have cultural setups beforehand, but she added a touch of class to hers. She added the idea of being able to go out in a nice, safe, conducive environment. She put together food, plays, environment, like I said, beads. She does stuff with children, teaching them our culture. She put all of that together in one room, in one big, I say one room, a very big space that you can, I say one room because you get this family feeling when you get there. Yes, so that's an entrepreneur. So there's something started already, but you make it different. You think outside the box, or as some people say, you don't even realize there's a box there at all, so you just go and do whatever it is you want to do.
Okay.
That's an entrepreneur.
That's interesting to know. Currently, you're the founder of Kate,
Yes, Kate is Children and the Environment, like I said. It's I educate children on environmental issues.
Okay. You educate children on
using the creative arts. So the dance, the drama, like I said, dance, drama, plays, books. Get them to read books that have to do with the environment, art, anything that's creative. Now, when I started about 15 years ago, environment was not was not interesting. People were like, people haven't eaten. Interested in the environment. And then a lot of people is asking, what have children got to do with the environment? They just couldn't see the relationship. But I learned about the environment from when I was in primary school. Learned about nature. Nature studies was my favorite subject. I learned about appreciating art, appreciating animals, appreciating flowers, appreciating everything around me. Being able to be interested in eating food that you actually grew yourself. So I believe that, as they say, catching them young is actually a very good time to catch them. Now 15 years down the road, Lagos State, for example, you see flowers all over the place. You see people going green, people eating healthier, and all that. And some of us started 15 years ago when nobody was really interested in it.
So at that time, I would actually call you an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Even at that time, because you were doing something that wasn't so common, and
you were doing it in a refined manner.
Yes, I was getting children, because the few who actually started were targeting adults, because they felt that they're the ones who would understand. But I believe that anything that you're going to do, it starts with any age. At any age, if you take a 2-year-old to the beach and teach them to appreciate the beach, make sandcastles, listen to shells, and and things like that, they would grow up being interested and want you to go back there. So anything that you want to do, start very young, and then it becomes a habit.
All right.
And you got a lot of no at the initial stage.
Billions and billions and zillions of no.
So that
we're not interested in
leads me to the
this.
question that, as an entrepreneur, when you're starting something new, you would definitely get lots of people telling you, no, it can't work, it doesn't go this way.
Yes. Or you can't do it in Nigeria. Go back abroad. It may work there.
So you got a lot of that.
Yes.
But you were determined.
I was determined because I was convinced about what it is I was doing. And then, what they say about entrepreneurs, you have to have a passion for what it is you're doing. I had a passion for it. When I decided to do this, I decided, what do I like to do more than anything else? The minute I decided that this is what I want to do more than anything else, nothing was going to stop me.
Okay. All right then. We'll go on this quick break just to watch the business intelligence, the insert, talking about entrepreneurship, and when we come back, we'll still have Mrs.
Alamutu.
Miss Shola Alamutu.
Alamutu.
Yes, that's it. Alamutu.
We'll still have her in the studio. Let's go for this break.
Wanna be in the know? Tune into the show. It's called a new day now in your zone. Touching the work and career. Ends up in the play zone. Take luck to entertain. Inspired to make you feel at home. And it's all about you. It's all about you. New day. It's a new generation. New day. It's the new day. It's a new generation. New day. It's a new generation. It's a new day.
Mọ́mí Bọ́láńlé ẹ káàárọ̀. Ìyá Kúdí ẹ káàárọ̀ kọ́sítọ́mà.
Make we dey always follow our conscience because e dey tell us the correct thing.
I suppose sabi wetin good.
Do the right thing. Let's change the way we think.
Entrepreneurship. Everybody seems to be talking about entrepreneurship, and for a good cause. My name is Emmanuel Imevere. I'm the author of this book, Business Intelligence, Entrepreneurship Development and Business Building Techniques. Who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is a creator, something new or adding something to what is existing. The word entrepreneurship actually developed from a French word, entreprendre, meaning initiating or creating something new, bringing something into being. A lot of people that we call businessmen today may not actually be entrepreneurs if perhaps all they are doing is just executing contracts. An entrepreneur is one that brings in to the marketplace innovation. His innovativeness is to make things either like easier, sweeter, faster, cheaper. It's adding more. Entrepreneurship is really about adding more. You want to be an entrepreneur? The first thing you should think about is what value can you add to something that is existing to improve it. Take, for instance, the cars we have. They're improving every day. Our cell phones are getting smaller, but more powerful. They're able to do so much more. That's entrepreneurship. You can't be an entrepreneur. Just set your mind to creating value in an area where you can exercise your unique knowledge. In my book, Business Intelligence, on page 63, I describe who an entrepreneur is. Entrepreneurship is not easy. It's not cheap. It can't be for everyone. But if you have the entrepreneurial spirit and you can take time to develop yourself, especially your solid personal foundations in business. You may just be the entrepreneur that Nigeria is looking for. The next Bill Gates, for instance, in Nigeria.
Alright, welcome back. We just watched that clip, Understanding Entrepreneurship. And still in the studio, we have Mrs. Shola Alamutu with Miss Shola Alamutu. Hope I got that
Yes,
surname
you
right.
can clap for yourself.
Okay, yes, dude. Alright, so he spoke about lots of things. He said that, entrepreneurs, like you earlier said, are people who don't just execute contracts or do things. They create something that goes on to impact millions of lives. And so far, so good, you've been doing that.
Exactly.
So, right now, the children that you've been teaching about the green life and all of it, how's the reception, from them? How has it been? Any of them gone into the same field you're going? Any of them taking keen interest in being green?
Yes. I have no problem with the children. It's usually the adults, unfortunately. But yes, like the children, yes. A few of them have, like you said, actually, what they say, taken after me, taken interest in the environment and developed it into a business. There's somebody who now sells flowers, for example. She does it for a living. Okay, she's learned a lot about flowers and she sells pots and plants and all that for a living. She also teaches other children. And the children actually came up with such a performance before the governor of Lagos State that he gave them a piece of land.
Nice.
Yes, so that is, like you said, impacting. Because they needed more space than they actually have already for their planting and for their green work. And she used to be my PA. And now she's come up with, it's called Kids Clean Club. And she's an innovator. She's gone ahead and she's doing things slightly different to the way I'm doing it, and maybe even better in her own way. She's not so focused on the art in terms of dancing and all that. She's actually she recycles. She uses, so for example, I give her a lot of waste materials which she uses. She teaches the children and they actually sell those things.
So when you say waste materials,
Yes.
what are those waste materials?
Okay, for example, all my when I drink water, all the bottles, the empty bottles, I don't throw them away. And I have friends who know that, so when they're coming to my house, they bring empty bottles. So I give it to people like, her name is Doing, people like Doing, and they recycle it, they use it. Yes, to create other things. Yes. For example, what I'm wearing now is made from seashells. Okay, yes, and somebody has made them into, like he talked about, Mowbray talked about adding on.
Yes.
Okay, people already make bracelets, we already know that. So somebody wants to make something different and uses shells to make something that I can wear, making bracelets, So I'm wearing something, 2 rings, and they're made from zips. So yes, zip. So rather than throwing, they're called zipper rings. So rather than use zips away, I actually make into jewelry, which I'm wearing.
So that means that, from what you're saying now, it shows that an entrepreneur is somebody who thinks that even where there's a waste, an entrepreneur sees wealth
in that waste.
Sees wealth even in the waste. Okay. Now, for an entrepreneur, because many people wake up in the morning and they say that, okay, I'm selling clothes, so and that makes me and that makes me does that make me an entrepreneur? If I wake up, I'm selling the same clothes that my next door neighbor is selling, nothing added to it, but because I'm not working for anybody, because I'm waking up in the morning and I'm going to my shop, does that make me an entrepreneur?
That makes you a copycat.
Okay, so
you weren't expecting that, were you? That makes you a copycat. I believe that, I mentioned something about having a passion for it, because what's going to happen is, because every business goes through some kind of dull season. When you go through the dull season and you're not interested in that thing anymore because it's not bringing the income or the clientele or something is not happening the way you want to, you're going to want to stop, and then you're going to want to sell shoes, and then you want to sell bags, and then you're going to go into furniture, because you didn't really have such a passion for it. You're not interested in it. It's not, you are not actually what I'll say, created for it. So your interest is not so deep. It's just because, okay, my neighbor is doing it, okay, and then the next thing and all that. And how can you call that entrepreneurship? How can you call that even business? So it's not going to
has
happen.
to
Just
be lots of
starting.
passion.
There has to be a lot of passion.
And even though the business is not the way you think it would be initially, you have to be very consistent.
Yes. Consistent, that's the word. You
and
go on. 15 years down the line, I'm still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And what I find is people, because it's a not-for-profit, when I go to people and they say, oh, you're still doing this thing, they're more ready to support, because they believe that you can't stay in something for 15 years if you're not interested in it. So you have to be interested in it and passionate in it, so that no matter what happens, you are going to go. I say to myself that I can't imagine getting up in the morning and I don't want to go to work. I can't imagine. Some people live, really miserable lives.
Like what Patty Thomas said earlier on, is that if you're just doing in a vocation just to make money,
you wouldn't enjoy it.
You wouldn't enjoy
yes. When I go, sometimes I do a training for people. I say to them, money is not. It shouldn't be your goal. Money will come from that goal or from that aim and all that. It will come because of what it is you're doing. It will come. This, we just talk about zipper thing. This person is selling it and making an income out of.
Now, away from entrepreneurship,
yes,
I know there's something else you do that is actually beneficial to the whole of Nigeria. Let me put it that way.
That's why it is. I've got a map of Nigeria
so
here.
Can you tell us more about
Like I said,
that,
okay,
please?
I'm a green person. I'm interested in environment, and so I co-founded something called the Beach Samaritans, where people are coming together, volunteering. We're not charging, and they're not charging us to clean up beaches, and we're cleaning public beaches all over Nigeria.
Free of charge,
starting with Lagos.
Okay. So is the start date for this?
Saturday, the 20th of December. This particular Saturday.
Where? Which particular?
We're cleaning Takwa Bay.
Takwa
Bay Beach, which has been one of the forgotten beaches, but it needs cleaning, and it needs everybody to come on board and clean.
Even though you're not making money from that angle,
Yes.
it's still something I could tag as being an entrepreneur.
Yes, it is, because it's something that I found that so many. The last time we did this is going to be the second edition. We had over 100 volunteers coming on board, wanting to do something that is going to benefit at least the villagers, at least the people who live in and around the beach area.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much. It's time to say goodbye, but all the same, all the very best.
Thank you so
much.
much.
And we have lots to do. We still have to go to Sun Center to watch the drama.
Sarah the musical.
Yeah.
Still have to go to
Then
the
on
beach.
Saturday, we're marching to the beach to clean the beach. So now you understand what I told you earlier on, that from today's edition, you know that Christmas has indeed started.
Exactly.
My name is Tunbosun Gilbert. I'm going to see you on Thursday, 1 p.m. It's going to be the wind down edition.
And I'm Ivan Dugan. Till then, have a fantastic and blessed week.
Thank you for coming back.
What?